Alright, here we go. Welcome fight fans, this is Frankie Barker for episode 11 of Fight Fix with Frankie Barker. I'm going to be going over the Ultimate Fighter finale, 13 finale. Also going to be giving the results of that. Also going to be, the second part of this will be in two parts. The first part will just be wrapping up the Ultimate Fighter finale and the fights on that card. And then part two will be the 131 UFC Dos Santos CARWIN predictions card as well. So let's get to it real quick. Well, obviously the Ultimate Fighter finale, the first fight of the night was Chuck O'Neill against Chris Cope, who were the semi-finalists from Ultimate Fighter 13. Fairly even first round for both fighters, striking and moving well. Chris Cope landing a nice left hook, putting Chuck O'Neill against the cage. Second round, very solid round for Chris Cope, tagging O'Neill again with that left hook. It was talking about sticking to your guns when things are working, keep pushing for that. He also landed some really nice body shots, mixing it up. I felt that O'Neill was moving back way too much and didn't try to take control of the center of the octagon at any rate, giving all of that momentum to Chris Cope, and obviously taking advantage of that. Chuck also had to make something happen in that third round. There's no way he was going to come out of this. It was 2 rounds to 0 for Chris Cope. In the third round, Chris Cope really, had worked hard over his preparation. I really felt that his improvements were immense. His improved footwork, his better hands, his combinations, his decision-making, his choice-making was way better. That's what happens when you work hard. Good things happen. An excellent result for Chris Cope, getting the unanimous decision. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight again, no doubt. Now, in the second fight, light heavyweight bout, Kyle Kingsbury versus Fabio Maldonado. Great start for Kingsbury. He looked like a warrior out of 300. I swear to God, he was so big, so ripped. He looked nasty with some ferocious knees off that clinch. It was working very well for him. For Maldonado, also using great body attacks and headshots to put pressure back on Kingsbury. A great first round from both fighters. Second round, Maldonado has great punches. Body punches really taking the wind out of Kingsbury's sails. Just continuing to touch him up at any chance he had, making that round really difficult for Kingsbury. But Kingsbury still, using that clinch and those knees, he was sticking to his guns as well. Another great round for Maldonado, just punishing Kingsbury with body shots. And obviously, closing that left eye in the third in the process. Kingsbury continued to clinch and throwing hard knees and taking Maldonado down. But Maldonado just too good on the ground, reversing position many times, showing his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills very well. A very entertaining fight, no doubt, and apparently since got fight of the night, I think. So in the end, the decision went to Kyle Kingsbury. Regardless of the outcome, two very tough guys, either of them deserving the win. But on this occasion, Kingsbury took the win, bringing him to a 4 straight win streak so far. So congratulations to Kyle Kingsbury. Also, Ed Herman versus Tim Crater. Now, if you remember, Ed Herman has had a couple of bad knee surgeries lately. He's been out of the cage for a long time. Tim Crater was on the Ultimate Fighter series as well, by memory. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it basically took 48 seconds for Ed Herman to knock out Tim Crater. Both look pretty exciting at the start, but Ed Herman just used his left hand, right hand, left hand behind the back of Tim Crater. He just got that clinch position, bam, landed that beautiful uppercut, put Crater on his butt, went down and finished the fight with some amazing ground and pound. So it was over pretty quick and very impressive showing for Ed Herman. Obviously, he was pretty emotional after the fight. He's had a pretty hard comeback. So for him, huge congrats. Just shows you, never quitting, never giving up. That's the answer to all the problems. So huge win for Ed Herman. Good to see him back on the winning ways. Now, great fight here. Contrary to belief, a lot of the enthusiasts online and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fraternity are not too happy with Clay Guida at the moment. Anthony Pettis, everybody's expecting him to fight the winner of Frankie Edgar Gray Maynard. Wow, the outcome of this made it super interesting. At a lightweight bout, Clay Guida, Anthony Pettis, I wanted to see that. Incredible opening round for Guida, taking the fight immediately to the ground. Really working hard to avoid the deadly submission guard of Anthony Pettis. Guida very aware of the danger he had to face with Pettis off his back. Guida just too strong and too savvy in that round, landing 3 takedowns in total. A very exciting start to the fight. Pettis just looked sick off his back, dangerous. I was like, every time the fight went to the ground and Pettis was on his back, I was just holding him up like, oh my God, Clay Guida's going to get subbed. It was very exciting. Anthony Pettis is sick jiu-jitsu. Round 2. Another great round for Guida, getting the takedown again, but not without some incredible risk. Pettis throwing up some of the most dangerous attacks yet off his back. Guida getting caught in a triangle, which switched to an armbar, which switched to an omoplata. He rolled out to safety in that with the bell ending the second round. Great submission defense from Guida. Another second round for him. Now, whether you agree or not, in my mind, I had it 2-0 for Clay Guida. Now, the way the judging works, they're going to give the advantage to the guy that's on top. The guy that gets the takedown and works hard from there is going to have the advantage. Yes, I agree. Anthony Pettis was throwing out non-stop attacks off his back. Should that be deemed as, pushing the fight and really trying to go for a finish? Hell yeah, it is. But they don't see it like that. They see it as, oh, you got your ass taken down, and now you got this gorilla on top of you, striking you, and you're throwing up attacks. But hey, you got put on your ass, so we're gonna keep it in that guy's corner. I don't agree totally, but it is what it is. That's how the fight went. Round 3. This last round will have to be one of the most exciting rounds for me that I've seen in a long time. Clay Guida just attacking, on his feet. And it was a great tactic, luring Pettis into thinking that he's going to start striking. And then just taking him down and working really, really hard to make the fight as ugly as possible, avoiding the attacks again. With Pettis at one point even taking Guida's back. And Clay Guida just so well rehearsed. You could just tell. He had prepared for all of this. And he just slipped out the back and even by the end of the round taking Anthony Pettis' back as well in the process. So, look, what can I say? An incredible display of tactics, superior strategy, incredible submission defense. Making Guida a superior strategist, in my opinion. Now, Clay Guida got the unanimous decision. That was a no-brainer for me. Now, it makes things really interesting now. Anthony Pettis was next in line for the shot against either Frankie Edgar Gray Maynard. Now, Pettis just loses to Guida. An unexpected loss at that. I really believe the UFC were really looking past Clay Guida here for Anthony Pettis. But here's the thing. Knowing Dana White, he loves a great scrap, he loves a scrapper, and Clay Guida is that. I really believe that he can't help but not want to give Clay Guida a shot, and a deserved one in my opinion. Clay Guida's been around the block a long time, man. But we'll see what he's going to have against Frankie Edgar Gray Maynard. So will that make a good fight? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see what Dana White decides to do. So, I know a lot of the people in the grappling fraternity are mad. Very, very angry with Clay Guida. But hey, get over it. It is what it is. The decision's been made, and the fight continues. So, let's move on to the main event for the Ultimate Fighter 13 finale. Tony Ferguson and RAMSEY NIJEM. Now, this wasn't a long fight. I think it was about 3.5, 4 minutes. Tony Ferguson knocks RAMSEY out. It was a bit of a scrap at the start, both coming out very excited. It was a huge preparation for both of them, going to their individual camps, as we all seen this before, 12 seasons before. So they come out. It started with some very, very exciting movement. Both boys throwing down. Obviously, a lot riding on the contract. 6 figures, UFC, a great occasion. Now, Tony Ferguson did really well. He ate a couple of right hands from RAMSEY as well. RAMSEY threw down. RAMSEY's a great striker. But Tony Ferguson's wrestling was very, very, very good. I was very impressed with it. In the end, he started really mixing things up, landed that left hook on RAMSEY. I reckon he just made a mistake, to be honest with you. Dropped him, knocked him out. Referee saved him from further damage. End of story. Congratulations to Tony Ferguson, man. I can't wait to see that guy fight again. I think he's going to go ahead and improve in leaps and bounds. That boy's got huge potential. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, there was some prelims as well. Scott Jorgensen, Ken Stone. I've got to say, Ken Stone's a stud. His stand-up was sick. His guard was sick. His wrist control was very effective. Although I don't agree with wrist control, it's not really safe, and it obviously showed. In the end, Scott Jorgensen just, biding his time and then just knocking Ken Stone out. Cold! But here's the thing. I was so impressed with Ken Stone. Just goes to show you what my teacher's been saying all along. Wrist control is just not high percentage enough when you're on your back. That's what happens. So well done to Scott Jorgensen for getting it done, but huge props for Ken Stone. I was really impressed with him. I'm looking forward to seeing both of those guys fighting again. Josh Grisby, George Roop. Man, this is the best Roop I've ever seen. The best Roop I've ever seen. His Muay Thai was sick. He was just beating the snot out of Grisby. Grisby tried hard, but in the end, he just had nothing. Roop was pretty much just teeing off to the end of that fight. He landed a just incredible body shot, dropping him in the process and just stepping back and letting it go. It would obviously just saving Josh Grisby some enormous punishment. So for me, the Ultimate Fighter 13 finale card was huge. I really loved it. I enjoyed it. It was action-packed. Got some great results, some great knockouts, some awesome jiu-jitsu. It was great overall. Now remember, part 2's coming up. It's right after this. with the 131 UFC 131 Carwin dos Santos preview. See you in a bit.